When I was 6 months old, I was adopted from Seoul, South Korea by an entirely white family from the South. A mom from Birmingham, Alabama, dad from Nashville, Tennessee, a cowboy-loving, football-playing older brother whom I idolized, and a perfect Southern Belle baby sister. Growing up, I lived on a dairy farm in South Georgia. Every day for school, I wore a cowboy hat, boots, and a big old belt buckle because I thought it was cool. Hell, even today, I still believe Randy Travis is the best country artist of all time. For all intents and purposes, I truly believed I was a white man from the South. That is, until I went away to college. And I very quickly realized that this I perspective that my family's wasn't normal. In December 2016, I was a senior in college, and my family was having our biggest reunion ever. 250 of my closest relatives were all in Nashville, Tennessee. And needless to say, I was excited because I hadn't seen my immediate family in over 3 years. But when I got out of the car, one of the first persons I saw was my auntie, who I hadn't seen in 15 years. So I reach out, go, "Hey, auntie, how's it going?" Open up my arms for a big ol' hug. But instead of giving me the normal response, a hug, she flexed every muscle in her body, flexed her eyes closed until I walked inside. It's okay. I knew the jokes were gonna come. Ha ha, hilarious. No worries. I walked inside and met anyone in the kitchen table. But at the kitchen, as we were all getting food, before I could even get to the cold turkey, a swarm of my family's dogs just rushed in, knocking over chairs and plates and out the dining room table. And as that last dog went around the corner, one of my uncles from the back of the line screamed out, "Hey, Britt, there go the dogs. Don't go try to eat them." And it was like someone landed the biggest punchline at Madison Square Garden. Everyone just died with laughter. The entire house erupted. And I just stood there. What is happening? That's not funny. Why are y'all laughing? I got my plate, got my silverware, sat at a corner table by myself, and I just thought. See, y'all have to understand, right? For 22 years, this was the only life I had ever known. I didn't know until I went away to college that the things my families and friends back home said and did may have been inconspicuous. I thought it was normal for all my friends and family to laugh at me every time I won a video game because I had the Asian gene, or it was just inevitable that I failed my driver's license test. Hell, through all of high school, I had the nickname Chinky given to me by my coach, and I thought it was funny. For 22 years, this was my life. And as I sat at that table with the dogs running and everyone laughing, all of these memories just flooded my mind, and I had to leave, right? So I got up, found my father, and I said, "Sir, I'm so sorry, but my head is just really killing me. I think I'm gonna go lie down at the hotel for a bit. I'll come back later." My father had his Jack and Coke in hand, and by the look at his glossy eyes, he was on his fourth. He said, "Son, take a seat and grab a drink. We just got here. We were just talking about Trump and how he's finally gonna change some things." And without thinking, I said, "Yeah, Dad, my head, it just really hurts. It kills. And I didn't even vote for the guy." And immediately, I knew I had messed up. Because my entire red-minded family all stopped talking. My father put down his drink and said, "Sorry, son, I didn't quite catch that. What'd you say?" And I tried to backtrack the conversation and said, "Yeah, Dad, my head, it just really hurts." "What the fuck did you just say?" My father was standing nose to nose and toe to toe with me. I looked around for support from my friends and family, but they all had the exact same expressions, 250 of them. And I don't know why or how this happened, but this confusion inside me just turned to anger, and I just got so mad and frustrated until I couldn't take it, and I just said, "Yeah, Dad, yeah, I didn't vote for Trump. I'm not like y'all. It doesn't even matter." My father grabbed me by my shirt collar, hoisted me into the air. The next thing I know, he had thrown me into a 72-inch plasma screen TV that shattered. My body hit the floor. My brother and father then both simultaneously went on top of my body and beat the living daylights out of me in blackness. I woke up in a hospital bed. The doctor said I survived with 15 broken bones, including a dislocated shoulder, broken collarbone, and torn ligaments in both of my legs because the neighbors across the street had heard the commotion. And when they had heard what was happening, they came over and they pulled my brother and father off of my body while my entire extended family just watched. During the 7 months of recovery that it took for me to be able to fully walk again, and even sometimes today, I hate this, but I truly believe that that incident was my fault. If I could have just been more like my brother and father, if I could have just fit in with my family, if I would have voted for Trump, if I was just whiter, none of this would have happened, and my entire life wouldn't have just flipped upside down. But eventually, I plucked up enough courage and I got myself ready. And on August 21st, 2017, I packed up my bags, said goodbye to the few friends I had left, said goodbye to my family who still to this day does not communicate with me. And I moved. And that's what I've been doing for the past few years, just moving, trying to find myself. From Berkeley to Sacramento to Denver to Chicago, New York, Charlotte, Atlanta, just trying to finally discover who I am. And I've got to tell y'all, I finally love it. Because for the first time in my life, I feel as though I don't have to just fit in or conform to some bullshit, but just be me and learn about this heritage and culture I knew nothing about. Like, y'all don't understand. I just had Korean barbecue for the first time. Seriously, if I ever knew I was Korean, it was when I ate kimchi, because oh my God, so good. Now, don't get me wrong. I will always be a Southern kid. I'll eat my grits and gravy, hold the door open for other people, say my please and thank yous, because that's just who I am. But if these past 2 years have taught me anything about my life, it's that just because my entire family is from the South and I grew up in this white culture, that does not make me a white man from the South. It makes me a proud Korean American that loves grits and country music. 65, right up